is good, but like it could not be good
It
later.
could not be, yeah.
I mean, you say all the right things, you've been doing all the right things. I just needed to continue.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Talking to you guys about Married at First Sight, talking about Amani and Woody. Yes, Amani and Woody. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for a notification of the uploads, and for those of you returnees, my friends, make sure, okay, you get your minerals. Minerals? You got the minerals, you got the minerals. Alright, cool, let's get into it. So, talking obviously about Amani and Woody, I think it's very, very interesting because we saw the conversation around sex quite heavily populate their conversation. So Woody, obviously, thinking from the last episode, I remember Amani said obviously she's got her chastity belt on and she's taking it slow. And she kind of expands on that in this episode where she explains later on at the dinner the reason for her actual reason why she's actually taking the chastity belt, if I'm gonna call it, or taking some time out not to have sex in their relationship.
Had great connections initially, and then it just turns out to be like not a great thing.
A bit like Karen also, same type of fear, that she's fearful that you start off good and you end poorly, all right? But we want to focus more on the fact that in the very, very beginning, they were very open about speaking about sex. In fact, they were talking amongst each other, Amani and Woody, and, you know, she spoke about saying, obviously, you know, she's not that experienced, and he was saying that he is experienced. And then she asked another question, like, I think she even said, I think, would you teach me then? Or was like, are you gonna teach me, etc., etc. And the fact that she was quite open to that showed good signs. I mean, that's a positive. That is a couple who is willing to be naked emotionally. Because listen, one of the hardest things about any relationship is to be open and honest about your sex lives. Are you enjoying it? Yeah, I may be, but I might not be getting my dues. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, a lot of ladies, they suffer, you know? A lot of ladies, they suffer, you know? I don't know about this thing. I'm Christian, so I don't know about this thing. Anyway, so obviously, you know, so a lot of relationships, they don't, they're unable to be naked in this way where they actually are able to say, listen, hey, this is how I like it. This is how I don't like it. This is how I like you to do it for me. How do you want it? Like, do you know what I mean? So I think that's one of the hardest things to do in any relationship. And so if you can do that, it's a good omen that you're actually starting to have really open-ended conversation. And so obviously they haven't had sex yet, so we're not sure yet, because they have to get to the point where they actually are having sex. And if it wasn't going right, then them having a conversation might be a different level of honesty, but it's good to see early on that having that conversation.
I have not had as many experiences. Okay. And so like, how well are you with
you know, and the fact that she's also not very experienced can create this insecurity, or create at least a fear, a temporary fear that, you know, I'm not sure how to handle you because, you know, you may think I'm not good, you may not think I'm qualified, you may not think that I'm doing it right, you may think, you know, this girl isn't so attractive now that she's not the sex god that you thought she might have been, or the image that we build up of the other person. And so what's really important is that, you know, in this particular situation, you're seeing this open-ended conversation. You're seeing the fact that they're enjoying themselves. You're seeing the fact that, you know, they're able to have this conversation around this area. But you do have to be very cautious, because the person obviously, you know, may feel a bit more shy, a bit more timid, or a bit more nervous about entering into the sphere of a relationship, because it's an untapped area so far. Yeah, all that talking all that crud talking you're doing, all that sexual talking you're doing isn't the actual.
Not being experienced in sex, I don't think is an issue or a problem, because one, not to say it like it's a showboat thing, but I'm somewhat experienced, and it's nice that she said it up front.
Act, yeah? And so oftentimes people can feel like, are we going to be compatible in this particular area? So also, again, like I said, the honesty is critical and quintessential. As a couple, you want to be discussing, you know, what makes you tick, what makes you horny, what positions are your best positions. You want to be talking about, obviously, the spots on your body that, you know, make you that turn you on. This is all part of the process of a relationship. Now, and the reason why I'm saying that is because not everybody is the same. Yeah, you go and take what you did with your ex into a new relationship and you might find out it don't work so well. Trust me, I tried it, didn't work. Okay, so I can tell you that for sure. Okay, but yeah, it's all about communication and always being intentional with that communication so that every individual person that you're meeting or being with has that fair due process of getting to understand, hear, and feel what you're kind of saying and what you're wanting and desiring. Do not think you can read a mind, okay? Yeah, sex is a communication vehicle, okay? It's not just put my nuts in and I go, you know what I mean? It's not that kind of thing. There is a communication that needs to happen, yeah? Now, some people obviously have a really high chemistry and it just seems to click, it seems to work, seems to want it, but there is still, even in that, there's communication, because whilst you're even having sex, if you've had sex, listen, some of us have had sex before Christ, if you've had sex, then you know, even during sex, you might be like, I'm doing it, and you'll be like, listen, can you just lift the leg up a little bit? And like I said, but can you just move around that little bit? Oh, we're having sex, can we change position? So there is communication even whilst the chemistry is good. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, keep it there, that's where the spot is. That's all communication. So don't think sex is void of that. If you don't communicate, don't think sex is going to be the place where you can avoid talking about it. And so other than that, what happens is, what a lot of women are suffering with, is that man come in, bust nut, go to bed. Yeah, because no communication. It's not a two-man sport. It's just me getting my rocks off.
Hey, I'm sorry, my ring is lost. I have to find it.
No, and I said as well that later on, when the ring gets lost, it's really powerful stuff. As I've been learning about feminine energy and masculine energy, I've been really kind of seeing more and more and understanding where men and women are saying what they need from each other. But what I really understood here was something that Amani did, which was really powerful, really, really powerful, that I think a lot of women can pick up from. When Woody jumped in the water, lost his ring. Now, your natural reaction might be a little bit annoyed, right? Because you're like, flipping out, like, what's going on? Da, da, da. How have you lost your ring? Like, but what Amani did was really powerful. She obviously lost her ring, da, da, da. And then she wrapped her arms around him. Said, it's okay, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? And then
It's not that deep.
and she stroked his beard as well, right? Now, all of that was what I call a reinforcement that what I'm saying is true. It's all right. Yeah, it's a nurturing ability to do. Like when you begin to hug, begin to stroke his beard, and you tell him it's all right, he actually will believe it, and you're actually showing through your actions and your words that it is all right. Okay, it's almost like when you coddle a baby. You know, when you say, "Hush, little baby, don't you cry. Mama's gonna buy you a ride." Now, as you're singing, you're also like kind of, you know, just making sure the baby, as you're rocking back and forth, that gentle motion, okay, is to let that baby be soothed. It's the same thing. I always tell you, soothe the bear. The bear is the anger, it's the frustration, it's the pride. The bear is the thing that's within each of us that's gonna cause an argument. Okay, so you have to understand, soothing the bear as a female is about using your body, it's about using your words, it's about using your tone. Listen to the tone that she even used. She didn't come there aggressive, she toned it down and said, babe, it's alright, it's okay, it's cool, it's alright, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you saw that Woody was not happy even with his own behaviour, because he was feeling a certain way, like he was now hugging her and trying to do a little bit extra to kind of atone for the fact that, yeah, I'm really sorry that I've lost this ring. Yeah, I know it's bad, man, I should have lost it. And he's making the jokes about, you know, I have to tell everybody that you're my wife now. But that physical touch, that grabbing that he's done there.
It was nice to see, like, she still supported me at a time where I thought she was going to be really, truly pissed. Lets me know that when we do have big explosive moments.
Now, also, is to reiterate that my forgiveness, forgive me. Like, what I've done, I'm sorry for doing that, right? So you talk with words, but you also talk with your body, right? So especially if you're a female, talk with your words, but you talk with your body and the tone. Very important to learn how to soothe the bear, all right? So that was important as well. I love the fact, obviously, as well, that, you know, then they got into the shower together, had a good time in there. We don't know if they had sex or not, we just know they had a good time. And you know what? What's really interesting is that everybody says the same thing about them. We love your energy. We love your chemistry. What everyone's really saying is that we love the fact that you two are clicking so early and so well, and you're infectious, right? Because like naturally on their own, they would be infectious anyway. But to have them both together, working together, having the same energy. It's infectious to the whole group, and everybody can see that and they love it. And so you hear the compliments coming when the same compliments come from Bennett and Amelia. You hear it when they were swimming. You hear the same compliments coming from when they were on the boat with with Bennett and Amelia again. And you hear Christina and Henry. You hear Brett and Olivia. Everybody's got the same kind of words for them. They approve Miles and Karen of their energy. It's good vibes, and we love that. And I was wrong. So far, they proved me wrong, because I was saying that I'm not sure. Well, we still don't know. We haven't had any serious thing happen yet, but I was not sure how they were going to react, because I said once you get past the whole we're banter and we're vibes, yeah, what's left? Once we get past that and we get to more serious matters, how are they going to behave? How are they going to react? Are people mature? Is she going to mother? Is he going to become a boy? Like, what are we doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, we have to figure that. It was interesting as well when Henry was talking. Henry was saying that, he hasn't never moved to a girl in a bar, and you saw the face that both Amani and Woody pulled at the same time. And
approached anybody like a woman at a bar before. It's like, I'm just like...
I love the fact that she looks at Woody like with a smile, almost a kind of like I'm here. Like, you heard what he said, right? And that's that connection that they got again. That lovely chemistry they got again. So you see them pull the same face. And the reason why is because they're just on the same wavelength. They're the same type of person. They react to the same kind of things because they think they're exactly the same, right? And this is the synergy that most people want. When they're talking about relationships and looking for that spark, this is what we're talking about. When you're saying, I want it to work, I want it to be a spark, I want it to work, I want it to be on fire, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about this connection that Woody and Amani have. That instant spark, that instant vibe, the same wavelength thought pattern. That's what we're looking for, right? And then obviously, the dinner as well. I know she began, Amani was saying obviously is that. Well, before we even get to that part, there was a conversation part where, again, they're talking about sex again, and what was mentioned was that everybody thinks they're having sex. Now, I don't know if Woody brought this up to kind of get onto a conversation about sex or not. I think Woody's just really horny right now. I'm not gonna lie to you, kids. Obviously, like you heard him say, he's never had to go this long without having sex. Like, this is a relationship wise, he normally gets his rocks off early, right? But he's happy to wait. He's happy to take time and actually learn his wife because he wants to make it long term, and I respect that and I appreciate that. But he also sees that the chastity belt is loosening. Okay, so he's excited about that. Let's be honest, he's excited about the fact the belt is loosening. And so obviously that is a testament again. If everybody thinks they're having sex, to the great chemistry they have together again. They have a great energy, and it just shows that because and that shows also as well the power of sex. When people are
comfortable as we've been already.
I thought it was interesting, like, how everybody automatically assumed, like, we was having sex. Like,
yeah, we do.
Sex, you see that chemistry. You see that energy between people. You see oftentimes that, I call it temporal glow, which is that people are excited, happy, they're, full of energy, full of vibes in that moment because they've had sex. So they feel better, they feel good, right? I've been there. You get that temporary adrenaline rush, right? For a few days or a few weeks where it's like you're glowing because you've had sex. But then after a while, the sex can't replace the fact you're not talking. The sex can't replace the fact that you've got ambitions and goals. The sex can't replace the fact that, you want your emotions catered to. Sex can't replace the fact that you want love. And after a while, it begins to go down. Because now, the sex can't do that. It's like having drugs. After a while, the high stops being high and you need something else.
Scared in the back of my mind, like, it's good, but like, it could not be good.
It could not be, yeah.
I'm saying as well, they've made a different kind of interaction and start, but she's not confident if they can really connect. They're not sure if she can really connect outside of before. Well, if they have sex, she's not sure if they will still connect. And her fear here is that, listen, she doesn't want to enter in the sphere of a relationship, of the sexual part, and it all begins to fall out. Many people have the same mindset where, in the past, if you've been reinforced negatively that when you enter a relationship, it starts off well and ends badly, you're almost waiting for it to go wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you have that thought where, when is it going to go wrong? When's it going to go wrong? And, we all do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes even I do it. Like, I'll be like, my relationships might end after 2 years. I mean, when's the next relationship coming? Okay, and when I get the next relationship, after 2 years, it's probably going to end, isn't it? And you start thinking that because you've seen that negative reinforcement, or you've seen a pattern of that such. And so therefore, it's normal. The mind's going to think that way. You just need to condition yourself to say, hey, actually, you know what? I'm looking to change that now. I'm not looking to stay there, and you know, again, Amani's story is nothing new. It's a very much common story that she tells a story about a married partner. She explains that obviously, you know, she was dating somebody, having sex quickly or whatever, and then realised that the man is actually married. I mean, how many women have gone through this? If you're a woman, please comment down below. Let us know if you've gone through it. There's so many women that have encountered men who say this.
This recent guy that I was dating, I found out he was married.
Single just because their rings off, but they're actually married men. Married men. And they do it. And what's scary must be scary for the women is that, okay, fine, I get the guy. He's not a married man, but when he gets married, is he going to do what other guys have done that I've seen do? And that must be a scary thought. You know, at any moment you can get cheated on. Allow it, man. It's difficult. You know, you know, I think even there was a case for reflection for Woody as well, when he said, obviously, look, you know, I never really thought of it like that, but you know, in the past I made mistakes and stuff like that. But it makes it interesting because the guys who are doing Amani dirty, okay.
This in life growing up, but you live and learn. I think, and honestly, I think the lessons I've learned throughout life itself is like, hence why I have a wife now. Because I think honestly,
those guys were doing dirty to other girls. What I mean by that is, the Woody that's saying, obviously, I'm sure you went through that, was the guy who was doing dirty to a girl. Do you understand? Like, so like, although it's not Woody himself who did you dirty, he was one of those kind of guys. Like most of us were, you know. And then we learn, and it's too late. Do you know what? I would say it's too late by then because actually we've done the damage. We've done the damage, and actually we should be part of the solution now to make sure that we encourage other young men that this is not acceptable behaviour. I think Amani and Woody are a great couple. I think they're going to be amazing. I really believe in their vibe. I really believe in their energy. I really believe in the fact that they could be going a long way. He just needs to manage her thoughts and her heart correctly, and I think he will have a long marriage with Amani. But yeah, you know, I think for me, obviously, I know that the sex is on his mind, and I think when that happens, it will solidify where they're going. I don't believe he's going to do anything bad or anything wrong. I think it will last to the end. But like I said, the key part for me is when real life hits. What's the thoughts? What are they doing? What's the mindsets? That's my thing. But hey guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button to let us know your thoughts as well. Appreciate you guys. Stay locked, saluted.